Now, while I'm thinking about it, since oh wait, I had pips earlier. All right. Let's see here. Let's see if we can't get some ammunition real quick. Where am I? I'm behind. Okay. That's good. That's what I want. Put my
Gear deployed.
gear down. We'll come in and restock ammunition. I used quite a bit of ammunition on him, on that guy. A little concerned I don't have any pips.
Landing request approved. AP activated.
Nice! USS Nostromo. Nice.
Landing complete.
Alright, so a little bit of repair. Restock. Quantum fuel.
Checked our inventory, and we're stocked for all your repairs. Stand by. Stand by. Restocking ammunition. Let's get you filled up.
You know, I'm not sure what's going on. I noticed my ships tend to do wheelies when they
Ready to fly. Good luck out there.
when they start doing
Next time you're
repairs.
running low, we'll take care of you at Cry Astro.
Launch complete. Landing gear retracted.
All right, let's see here. I want to go to back to Kereah. There it is. I don't know where my pips are.
Quantum travel initiated.
I don't know that they're going to let us engineer in the alpha builds or not. My hope is that eventually we'll be able to build some stations, because I want to be able to build my...
Complete.
Let's see here, we got no enemies. We got any... Let's see, we'll pull back and... There we go. We got anybody out here? There's nobody out here. Okay, well, let's take up our position. We'll orbit around, get between the moon and the station. Might make it a little harder for people to see us. Just realized I have a camera behind me. I can actually look to see where I'm at. That's about where I want to be. All right, let's back up a bit. Get the whole station in view. Alright, so now we'll wait for the next guy to come by. This is why I don't do Star Marine. I'm one of those people who likes to camp out. My favorite weapon is a sniper rifle. Hey, coffee whore. Yeah, bounty hunters and pirates should be 3.0. Yeah, that caps lock is a pain in the ass. I have the same problem sometimes. So we're just sitting here waiting for our next volunteer to come by. We'll see if we get anybody who's red. Earlier tonight, I was out here with the Operation Pitchfork people, and the entire server was out here at Kereah. Hey, there's a guy. Jaeger Slave, he's red. Let's see if we can do some harm with him. See, he's coming around this side. Let's like shooting fish in a barrel. He still doesn't know where I'm at. Got him.
Danger. System overheating.
You know, why go inside and risk myself personally, and in going in and granted it's 2,500 AUEC if I go in and take up the security position, but it's much more fun. I have much more fun with ships. So if they come in and they're red, I'm going to shoot them. I don't think he had any clue where I was at. Yeah, I agree. At this point, most everybody who is doing Star Marine, they're all pew pew, and they're running as fast as they can. There's no real strategy or skill, and so it's not a whole lot of fun. I'm waiting for here on Kereah, where you can do a little bit of strategy and skill. Like I said, my favorite weapon is that sniper rifle. I've been known to go in and take up the security position, and then the windows that overlook the on the second floor that look over the terminal, I'll sit up there and wait for them to hit that terminal, and I'll just take them out with the sniper rifle. And but again, you're in there, you're blind, you don't see who's coming out. You really don't see if anybody's coming in. Out here, I can at least see them coming, and I agree. It's their fault for being red. That's half the fun. I understand they're coming in to try and lower their crime stat, but if they're a criminal, they ought to be aware of it. And I honestly expect that's going to happen to me if I have to come in and lower my crime stat. I agree that the damage models are completely broken in Star Marine. It seems like, I'll hit them 3 or 4 times, they'll hit me once, and I'm dead. I don't understand that. And again, because my favorite weapon is a sniper rifle, I tend to take up positions in hiding, or with cover. We'll put it that way, with cover, or at least in areas where they're not looking, so that I can get as many shots off as possible before they zero in on my position and start shooting back at me. Because that's what a sniper does. Snipers should be hidden. It's not about being fair. It's about taking out that person, that enemy. Now, I will say that when I'm out here with the Operation Pitchfork people, I follow their rules, and their rules are you don't engage unless you're being engaged. Someone shoots at you, then you shoot back, and then everybody jumps on them. But they're out, and they're not on the server at the moment, so I'm going to play by my rules. Yeah, Star Marine is a lot of fun. I enjoy playing it, but again, I'm one of those people who tends to camp. Yeah, I would love to have myself a Modus 50 cal. I don't know what this ship has on it. I'm flying the Vanguard Hoplite. I'm really liking this ship. The main gun is some sort of a Gatling gun. It reminds me of a Vulcan. The only problem with it is that it takes a second for it to wind up and start shooting, and in that second they usually get out of the way. So unless they're running straight ahead, it's difficult to hit them, or standing still like the last guy was. He was standing still. I pulled I used my secondary nose cannon, which are lasers. So they're immediate. But if I'm holding that down and I keep seeing it hit, I'll pull the trigger and start shooting them with the Gatling gun too. Get me some. It's interesting. This isn't one of my ships. This is a placeholder for something else. I don't know what. But after flying this, as soon as it becomes available again, I'm going to buy me one because I really like this ship. I'm curious to see what it would be like with a turret gunner. I think you're right to an extent, Coffee Whore, in that PU will be different because lives lives will matter. The problem is, I think what will happen is that the people who've been playing Star Marine, especially, and most of the kids are going to come in doing pew pew. And they're going to die a few times before they realize, oh, maybe that's stupid. I need to be a little more careful. I need to look around corners before I walk. But yes, once they've died a couple of times and start to realize, oh, this is different from just shoot 'em ups. What I'm looking forward to is some larger operations where you've got a whole bunch of people who are doing either boarding actions or something to that effect, going out and watching how they do that. I think there are several organizations out there who really are good at this. I can't think of her full name. Nails. I don't know if she's with Operation Pitchfork, but she hangs around a lot. She runs an organization, and she's ex-military, and she runs it like military, and I fully expect to see a lot of interesting dust-ups with her group. I think you're right. One of the things, I've got a Caterpillar, and when they were doing the white box on the Caterpillar, they were showing a bunch of different modules, and they were saying, these aren't for sure, but they're a possibility. And a couple of the modules they showed, one was a medical module, and the other one was a docking module. And if they actually go through and do those, I fully, because I and my organization are a part of Operation Pitchfork. So we're going to be, the weekend before this goes live, and we're in the beta. Just before it actually goes live, we're all going to go out and start attacking the Vandul. And one of the ships I plan to have out there is my Caterpillar with the, again, if they have it, the medical bay and the docking module, so that people can respawn either in the system or just outside the system, and rejoin the fight. And you're right, having the ability to respawn people is going to absolutely be something that will be a money maker. Yes, and I've got 4 dragonflies, and they've talked about, one of the guys was talking about, he didn't say what it was, he just said it was a vroom vroom, which tells me it's another bike. I'm hoping this one will be more like a Harley, because I really like the Harley more than the crotch rockets, and I'll buy a few of those too. Yes, the tail booms are going to be the weak point on the vanguards, but there was a guy here earlier, Helmu. He was in a vanguard. I don't know if he was in a vanguard warden, but he was in a vanguard, and he's a good pilot. He took me out several times while I was in this hoplite. He was a really good pilot. And, crap, really? I don't know who's firing at me. Is there another? Oh, did somebody board me? Because there's no other ships here. Oh, somebody's on board my ship. Yep. Somebody's on board my ship. I never even saw them coming. Somebody boarded my ship. I heard the door and didn't think anything of it, because I didn't see any ships. Alright, well, that's okay. I can... I'll just call my Vanguard back. Or my hoplite back. I saw things going past my face mask. I was gonna wait and stop the ship and get out of my seat, but then I realized I don't have a gun, because I never got out of my seat outside of the armistice zone, so I didn't have a gun ready. So I think what I'll have to do is call up the ship again and get to a point where I can get out of my seat and pull up the gun. Yeah, I'm not gonna. He was a bastard for doing it, but you know what? I have to give him props. He really did something interesting. So now I know I do want to stay away from the station a bit. And he stayed. The other thing is he stayed out of my view. I didn't see him coming. He had to have come from the station. Well, no, he couldn't have, because he would have had to have brought a ship in, and I would have seen the ship come in. So I'm not sure who it was or how he got there. It is a long EVA ride. I'm wondering if he was, I'm wondering if it was the guy whose ship I blew up. All of a sudden it stopped moving. I wonder if he exited the ship before it blew up. Before I killed it, and then waited for me because I went to Cryastro after that. So I'm thinking it has to have been the guy that was in that last ship I blew up. Why are you apologizing, Donnie? You saying you killed me? I'm thinking that red ship, he was in it until he realized he couldn't get away from me and must have gotten out, and then he was an EVA the whole time. Of course, between that time and me getting killed, I'd gone to Cryastro and come back, and taken a break. Okay, yeah, even if it had been you, Donnie, I wouldn't have been upset, because whoever did what they did, they really did. It was nice. That was a nice maneuver. Yeah, I know. Yeah. People who don't stream don't realize just how much of a tax, how much of a toll it takes on you to do this. I've got bunches of lights and 4 monitors full of stuff. Well, the Aurora I took care of. I have no doubt that pilot died in the Aurora. I'm not sure who the second one was. Was it an Aurora? Because it wasn't telling me. It just gave me a name, and I don't remember what the name was. And we certainly are having a time waiting to respawn. I'm hoping that the timer on my hoplite is... Well, actually, they didn't destroy the hoplite. I should still be able to pull it back. The Auroras are fun. I enjoy chasing after them. They don't go very fast. They're also not all that maneuverable. Yeah, there's quite a bit that goes into streaming coffee. Like I said, I've got 4 monitors in front of me, and they're all full of something. Something to do with the stream, actually. With just a couple of extra things on here to see what's going on. I got my task manager up just to see what my CPU usage is. I'm up at 91% right now. I've noticed that because I've been streaming off and on for about a year now. Actually, yeah, about a year now. And those of us who are relatively new and don't do it all that often, we tend to do the marathon streams. One of the reasons why I take the break is I'm recording locally also, and so I stop the recording while I take the break. That way, I've only got a 2-hour video to edit, because it takes forever to pull up a 4-hour, 6-hour video and edit it down into something watchable. I've got a couple of Aurora LNs. I bought 3. Yeah, I want to say I bought 3 game packages with the intent of giving them away on stream at some point. And so they're the full game packages. They come with both the PU and Squadron 42. Now that you can't buy them together, so they're going to be worth some money. And so at some point when I get enough people watching, I'm going to go ahead and offer them up as a raffle. Wow. We've got 12 people watching on Twitch. That's cool. Kind of curious why the black screen is still there. I suspect that people may be jumping off. Last time this happened, I actually got killed and then tossed off the server. And when I came back in through the hangar, Dargoth was on, and it was 17 out of 24 people, so it looked like people were jumping off because they got a black screen like this and decided not to wait around. Oh, for a minute there I thought I heard the sounds of waking up, but apparently not. Well, I'm waiting for it to come up and tell me it crashed, because usually if that happens, it gives me an error, or I get the crash handler, and I want to get the crash handler if that's the case. See, I'm still hearing the music, and I don't know how loud the music is to you guys. It should be fairly low. I'm still hearing the music, and it's changing, so I don't think the server has crashed. I think it's just taking me a while to respawn. I don't know why. Looks like we lost a couple of people on Twitch. They didn't like the black screen. But, you know, I also tend to stream when I'm in PTU, and I'm used to seeing this in PTU. Some of those builds are anything but stable. Good. I've got everything going through my mixer, and so I know where I set the levels for both the game sounds as well as Discord when I'm talking with either people on my server or which is the, if you want to join me on stream, that goes to my Discord server, or Operation Pitchfork. I'm hoping that the voices are lower volume than I am. Yeah, Alpha. Alpha! Yeah, we're all familiar with that. PTU Alpha builds scare you. Well, some of them, yes. There have been some builds where you would get on, you would wake up, and it would crash. You'd get on, you'd wake up, and it would crash. And it would do that all night long. As they get closer and closer to a stable build that they're going to put out and release to everybody, it gets a lot better. This has been actually, they're saying that this is not a real stable build, but I haven't found it to be that way. I've only had, I'll be streaming like 4 hours, and I'll have a couple of crashes. I mean, that's more than you expect in a finished game, but this is alpha. So to have a couple of server crashes in 4 hours, that's not bad from my point of view. Yeah, see, the music keeps changing. I suspect we'll get back in here. We'll give it a couple of minutes. If it doesn't come back in a couple of minutes, I'll go ahead and restart it, because nobody wants to see a black screen. I understand that. Me sitting in front of a black screen is probably not all that entertaining. And I'm not going to do anything on camera that would be entertaining, so at least... Yeah, go ahead. Jump in if you want, no problem. That's why I put the link up there, so that people can jump into Discord with me if they want to. I know that there are people who will watch and never go into regular chat, and I suspect that even those people, a lot of them won't get into Discord. Anybody who complains about issues in alpha does not understand what alpha is. And I've been a programmer for 40 years now, so I understand alpha builds. I understand alpha testing. This is actually, they're calling it alpha because they're adding stuff to it still. I look at this more like beta testing. Let's see what's you're from Texas, you're social, okay. Aside from them adding new stuff, the stability seems more like a beta build, where it's, let's beta test this, let's see what breaks. And I do enjoy the new builds coming out, especially in PTU, going out and doing science. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens if I do this. Can I aim my saber at a station and eject and watch it blow up? Hello.
How's it going? It's Donnie.
Hey, Donnie. It's going all right. We're still on a black screen. I don't know why.
Yeah, that seems to happen with a lot of games. Anytime when they crash, the music will retain, but just there's nothing in front of you. I mean, if you want to wait it out for the crash to happen, though.
At this point, I think we can probably just call it done, and I'll go ahead and kill it.
Right.
Close window. Yeah, it's crashed to the point where it's not gonna let me. Another reason for having. Wow, it just came back up, or it just went full screen again. Let me get out, and let me go in here and see if I can. Where did it go? Oh, I think it did. Yeah, I did finally die. Okay, so let's go ahead and get back in.
Did you try any of the console commands by chance, like disabling motion blur and whatnot?
No, I did not.
It may help increase your frame rate if you want to try it when you get the game back up. I can show you how to do it if you'd like.
Well, it's the tilde to get the console up, and
Right.
I've been watching. Go through that. I've been watching my frame rates. They have some of them. Come on, stop it. There we go. I'm right now. I'm showing 21 frames per second, and it's just the splash screen.
Right.
But come on. There we go. So 69 frames, but this is 35, 115, but this is the loading screen, so I expect it to be nice and high.
Because what we could do, if you'd like, is we could disable motion blur and VSync because those are turned on by default. So if we turn those off, it might actually increase your frames by at least 10 to 15.
Is it looking bad on stream?
No, it looks pretty clear to me.
Okay. That's the only reason I haven't done it is as long as it's not affecting the stream. I figure it looks good here. Of course, I don't know necessarily what it looks like on the stream. I've got actually because I'm simulcasting to both Twitch and Beam, so I've got a monitor up and it looks fairly clear.
Yeah, it looks crisp to me. Everything, all of it.
I know that there have been people who have complained about motion blur on streams. But
I'm referencing the actual game.
Right, and so I've actually seen people not on my stream but on other streams complain about motion blur because I don't know, it looked weird. But I figure as long as my frame rate is up, I'm doing 49 frames a second at the moment. Of course, I'm just in the hangar. What do you mean it's just black? Coffee Horse saying it looks great so far. Of course, it's just black. Hopefully, you're seeing my hangar right now. Of course, it's a 30-second delay.
I managed to have the pleasure of boarding and hijacking a Caterpillar once. That was not easy.
No, because you got to use that elevator.
Yeah, but there were 4 people on it, and I was going in by myself.
Ah.
Just by the skin of my teeth, I'd managed to do it. But I don't care who you are or how good you are. Like that's not easy.
No,
especially in the PU.
No, it's not. One night I was with some friends. I didn't realize one of them had gotten onto my Caterpillar before I left, and I was out in the ring of Yella, just kind of taking some screenshots is what I was doing because it was some really nice with the light and the asteroids, and I was off. I had gone EVA out of the Caterpillar. And so I was looking back and taking some screenshots of this Caterpillar with the asteroids in the background, and all of a sudden I saw the side door open up. It's like, I don't remember that being open. Who opened my door? So I start EVAing back, and all of a sudden the door starts closing. It's like, oh crap! Somebody out here in the middle of nowhere has gotten onto my Caterpillar. So I go back in, and I go through one of the open side doors. And I've got my gun out because I'm in Yella, and I go through one of the doors, and a guy runs past me. He's like, "Who the crap is? Who is that?" So I spin around, go back to the door, and I start shooting at him without even looking to see who he is, and I killed him. And and it was one of the guys who was actually on the Discord server with me. He says, "Why'd you shoot me?" I said, "Because I didn't know it was you. You didn't tell me you were on my ship. You should probably announce yourself if you're on my ship." Well, I thought you knew. No, I had no way of knowing. I was
There's
up in the cockpit.
There's no way to know. Like, he has to actually tell you.
Right. If he had said, "I'm going to go up to the turret, while I'm flying along." "Oh, are you on my ship?" "Yeah, I'm on your ship." "Oh, great, no problem. I know you're here. I know who you are. I'm not worried about you trying to take my ship."
Hey, at least he learned his lesson. Damn.
Hopefully he did. I mean, we'll see. Um, yeah.
That's tough.
Well, and one of the things that when they get the locks, the locks in place, that will be very helpful because then you'll at least have a pretty good idea that if somebody's on your ship, there's probably somebody who belongs on your ship.
I'm actually going to be happy when they implement the locks. And, instinctively, a lot of people will be like, oh, so you can do lock picking? And I'll be like, well, yes, but it's more of a challenge for pirates because essentially the only thing we can do at that point, because there won't be lock picking once they get locks in the
Yeah.
alpha builds, right? So
Yeah.
all you can do is hopefully blow off the engines without blowing up the ship, and then say or try to speak to them saying, hey, unlock your ship, please.
Mhm.
We're going to board. If you do not resist and you cooperate, we will not kill you, and we'll give you transportation to a station so you can
So
get another
you're a
ship.
nice pirate.
I'm a sensible pirate, like there has to be logic, there has to be a point. There are times where I may go out of my way just to blow anything up I see, but if I'm in a large universe where everybody is connected in such an alternative reality realistic way, then I have to be smarter
I agree.
about it,
I
and that's
agree.
just the way it is.
Well,
So if I get in touch with you and you say, hey, I'd like to help you some of the stuff that you salvage, I'm like, okay, we're gonna engage on that because that makes sense.
Yeah.
You make profit, we make profit, and we'll just keep you on a whitelist and hope to God that nobody makes the mistake.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. This is going to be more than anything. This is going to be a game of cooperation. Now, there are going to be different sides, and each side is going to be cooperating with their own side, not and against others. But yeah, it's absolutely going to be a cooperation with others. You won't get very far otherwise.
Yeah.
Coffee
We're dealing
Horse
with a
saying,
massive sandbox where the developers will essentially give us all the tools to do whatever we want, and then they'll
hopefully,
say, go ham. And from there, we don't know what's going to happen.
and
So
neither
you
do
have
they.
to pick and choose very carefully on what you do because people talk to each other.
Yeah,
So if you kill somebody, you may not just get away with it.
yeah, yeah. I think you're right, Coffee. The loading screen has probably crashed.
Oh, it's in the infinite loop. I didn't even
Yeah.
realize.
Yeah, it's like, really? All right. Usually after a while it goes away, but we've been sitting too long.
I need to give you a follow.
So I think, yep. Feel free to. I appreciate follows. All right, we're gonna close that window.
But yeah, when I talk to my leader, I need to notify him of your company and just say what your objective is, and just be like, listen, we really at the hip with Operation Pitchfork, but as long as we stay out of that situation and we stick with what makes sense, we'll be okay. That's what's interesting about my boss too, is he's like nicer than me, if that's even possible.
Well, and I like nice pirates. Nice pirates I can get along with. I don't hold any animosity to pirates at all. Pirates are just trying to make a living. And I want to thank both you and Coffee Core for following. I just noticed Coffee Core had followed about 25 minutes ago.
Yeah. Feel free to check out my stream whenever I can. I don't know what time zone you're in, but I'm trying to see if I can get midday all the way to evening.
That would be
on
cool.
my end, because the more you watch me, the more you understand how pirates perform tactics. So it could help you
absolutely
with research.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, if you want to put a link into the Discord chat, I will absolutely check it out.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm absolutely one of those people who if you're an honorable person, I will deal with you and problem. There we go. We're back in the loading screen. We'll see what happens this time. One of the things I'm trying to kind of set my org up as is a neutral party, so that if let's say your organization has a dispute with another pirate organization, and you need someone to help resolve that, all right, I am happy to help out. Or not that I think it would ever happen, but should a pirate organization need to negotiate with UEE or a UEE aligned organization of some sort, absolutely, I will be happy to help out if I can. Yeah, neutrality in a transport organization is a good thing, Coffee. All right, let's see if we can get back in here while this is going on.
Yep. On my email just to send you the thing.
Yeah, no problem. All right, let's see here. And I what I'm doing.
But what were you saying?
Yeah, hold on. My there we
Okay,
go.
so MercyBot just blocked me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep. Sometimes I even amaze myself. And I don't know why. I don't know why she's doing that. All right, hold on. Let me
Oh,
try
wait, there we
something.
go. I sent you a private message,
Oh,
and
okay.
it went through.
That'll work. All right, so we have. All right, the hangar seems to work fine. We'll just walk around the landing gear real quick. All right. Yeah, I've had criminal records as well, Boomhand, and I don't like Grimhex. I really don't.
I'll admit, like, the comm missions, the comm relays that you have to reactivate.
Yeah.
That's probably the number one reason why people accidentally activate criminal records, because you'll go in, you'll have the mission, it'll tell you to turn it on, you'll float in front of the terminal, activate it, and it'll turn red, and you'll be like, wait a minute.
Yeah, well, in this build, yes, in 2.6, you have to be very careful. You have to actually read the prompts because it'll show red, and you'll go down and you'll get the prompt, and it'll say power off. And
oh yeah,
that's an issue in this build, but that's only in this build.
I think it's funny.
Well, yeah, once you realize what's going on, it's like, okay. In fact, at one point, and I think it was on stream, I had one guy. It was two of us in fighters. We cleared out the pirates. We both stopped in the comm array. I went down. I checked it out. It said power off. It was showing red. It said power off. So I backed off. I let him come around. He's got his gun waving at me, and I'm just I put my gun away, and he goes in and he hits the comm array. It powered down. Gave him the crime stat. I walked up. I powered on. It gave me the 1,000 UEC, and I headed out and went back to my ship. It's like, this is how you play.
Here, I need you to screw yourself so I can make money.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have no problems. I won't necessarily tell you you're screwing up. I'll wait for you to do it so that I can make my profit. Because, let's face it, we're all in it for ourselves. Now, the difference would be if it were, if we were further along and it was an org mate and it's like, hold on, you don't want to do that. But that'll probably require voice comms. So hold on, wait. It's it's gonna power down. You don't want to take the crime stat.
Right.
Yes, I have also been criminalized because I actually kissed someone. I tapped someone lightly at Olazar. Yeah, I don't like that either. All right, so we're finally back in the game. Yay! All right, I wonder where we're at. We'll have to go take a look and see what strut we're on.
I think the most exciting thing I got to do was it was my 4th time playing, and I was flying around in a standard Hornet, and a Connie pulls up next to me, and I'm at these ICC probe missions. I'm not really a pirate yet, per se, but I'm near the debris, and I look at the Connie, and the Connie turns over and blows my Hornet up, not realizing that I'm not in it. So I get the flight recorder data, right? And then the Connie, I wait, I hide in a dark spot,
right?
So the Connie lights don't see me. And one guy jumps out. So I'm like, okay, if I kill him, he's going to report it. So
right.
I can't do that.
Right.
So I go straight after the Connie, and then I go up, and then the elevator starts activating. So it's a 50-50 chance. Either they'll relax and they'll be like, oh, it's him, or
right.
they're going to say, hey, I'm not in there.
Right.
So lo and behold, they relaxed, I killed all 3 of them,
And
and then
took
I
off with the
waited for
Connie.
the guy to come towards the
Ah!
Connie, and I got in the Connie pilot seat and shot the dude that was out there, and then just flew away, and I didn't get a crime stat for it at all.
No, because you're outside of you're in a non-reporting area. See, that's
Right,
the other thing is 2.6 when it first came out, it was reporting things like that in non-reportable areas as well. So I got a crime stat for shooting somebody in the ring of Yella. It's like, wait a minute, that shouldn't happen. He was on my
I had
ship.
no idea.
So yeah, some things, some of the weird stuff that's been going on. I think, and I don't know if that was PTU. That might have been PTU, but come on, there it is. Usually I close that on the way in, but it's all right. So let's take off before somebody has a chance to board my ship.
I was really surprised when I picked up a Vanguard. Like, I just stared at it, melted a ship, and then just purchased it. And I was like, wow, this is surprisingly durable.
Yeah, I am really liking this Vanguard. I did not expect it to be the ship it is.
A drop ship of all things. I mean, just unbelievable.
And to answer your question, Boomham, the Retaliator I bought, that was the second ship I bought. First ship I bought was a Constellation, and I decided I needed another ship that was about the same size that I could haul cargo in, and that was the Retaliator because they had just offered it up with the oh, I hit the wrong button. They had just offered it up with the cargo bays and the personnel bays, so I bought with the cargo bays and the personnel bays.
I think your speed is capped at 124. You might want to turn off comms tab whenever you get a chance to help boost max speed.
Actually, I can go up as high as 144, and that's fine. Usually what happens is comms tab. All right, let's go up a little bit. Make sure we get the right one. Come on, there it is. I've noticed
That's a weird thing that I run into. Like, my speed is capped, and I'm thinking it's comms tab, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
Comms tab does slow you down. I usually turn it on. Okay, there's our Avenge. Okay, I turn it on when I'm close to a station like this because I want to be able to have the fine control of not hitting the station, not sliding.
I see. Yeah.
All right, where is he at? Is he? Let's do this. Oh, well, somebody took him out. Cool.
Saves you the trouble.
Yep. Although it would have been fun to take him out. All right, so yeah, this guy's green. It's Huber. Oh, Curebor.
Sounds like baby shampoo.
Yeah, or a new child's toy. It's not a Care Bear, it's a Curebor.
Sounds like a really poorly named Pokemon.
There's that too. Okay, I think we are pretty much where we want to be. Well, all right, so we're on station keeping. You know, and I have to say, I love these rudder pedals. These rudder pedals are fantastic, and I have everything.
You have rudder pedals?
Yes, I do. I've got it.
Wow, that's awesome.
I bought expensive rudder pedals. These come from Croatia. They're almost $400, but they are they're CNC'd and they're out of a composite material. MFG is the company. They're the crosswind rudder pedals. They have they have a spring retarder and a cam. So when you start moving the rudder pedals, they feel like real rudder pedals. They've also got the brakes, so you know the toe brakes. It's a shame that I can't set it up so that the toe brakes work for dropping the engine, the thrust, because I'd love to be able to tap the left toe brake and have it drop the thrust on the left engines and the right engine still be at full thrust to help turn, like you would in an airplane. Mm-hmm. Of course, I've also got this X56, which has got dual throttles, and you can't you either throttle all the engines or you don't throttle any of the engines. And
that's awesome though.
I would love to have
cool.
that ability, because then I could spin the throttle a little bit and push if I need to make a hard turn to port, I push the right throttle forward and pull the left throttle back. I hit those rudder pedals. That would be great to be able to do.
Absolutely.
But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, they disabled track IR and they said they're bringing it back, but I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that they need to implement in terms of flight sim functionalities between its various
Well, and I don't expect any of that stuff until at least the beta build, because
Right.
it's a low priority. Virtual reality and all that stuff. And I've got one of my hats set up so that I can look around. So I've got the look around function set up. It's not quite where I'd like it to be, but at least it helps me in that. Because I'm used to flight simulators. I'm used to
Right.
flying an airplane, and so I understand the whole when you're out 40 and you look back at the runway 45 degrees behind you, you make your turn. Well, the same principles are going to work here. So I've got everything set up like an airplane because that's what I'm used to. So rudder pedals, I have them set to yaw. I have the stick set to roll and pitch. And it really does help me fly a whole lot better because with this, I was when I started up until about October. I bought the Thrustmaster T16000M, and in that really because I was using a 20-year-old Sidewinder. Okay, and I got it. I love the force feedback. I really wish that other manufacturers could do force feedback because I love the fact that you can feel the tension as you're trying to make that turn. It's probably not, you're probably not going to have that in space, but I would expect that you would have some sort of a feedback like that in your controls just so that it felt right.
In theory, also any joystick that has force feedback will actually last longer because you understand where the tension is and where not to push.
Right. Right.
But it's good that you did flight sims because if you've done a bunch of flight sims and you did like long flight times, and that's good for companies that are doing long jump transportations. You know what I mean? You're able to kind of pay attention throughout the practice.
I'm located in Denver. I used to fly the sim. I would fly from Denver down to Alabama in a Cessna with a refuel fuel stop in Wichita.
Wow.
And it would take 7 or 8 hours, but most of that flight time was on autopilot. Once you're at altitude and and what I would do just to make things a little more interesting is I would fly by old style navigation. So I would I'd tune the VOR so that I could pull in the omni signal and triangulate based on that, so I'd know where my position was. And I've got a cousin. He's my dad's generation. He was a flight instructor for years. And so back when the flight simulators first came out, and we're talking back in the 80s, I was flying on an Apple II. Where it's like, well, we got this flight simulator, but we're not sure how to land. He's, my dad said, well, call up your cousin and he'll tell you how to do it. So he taught us about glide slopes and all of that stuff. In fact,
the Apple II, the one with the large black floppy?
Yeah. That would have been, the 5.25-inch floppy. Yes.
That's when I started growing up. I managed to have the pleasure of having an Apple II starting out.
Yeah, I was in high school at that point.
Right.
And my dad was a programmer, so we had a computer as soon as they started selling them. And so there was a company called Sublogic that Microsoft eventually bought, and they were the ones who did the flight simulators. And so it was funny because I was over at my cousin's house. He wanted me to fix his computer, so I went over there to work on his computer, and he had a couple of books that are, one was the airport runway layout, and the other one was the map book, which has all of the frequencies for the radios and the VORs. So I've got those. They're old, but those frequencies and the layouts don't change all that often. So I've got all of that equipment or all of the books for flying cross country if I want to. And when I was able to pick up Flight Simulator 10 for $10, I did. I haven't played it since I got it, but I could. And I've got all the books for navigation. I'm hoping that something similar is done for this. I'd love to see where you've got waypoints out there that allow you to navigate around a system.
Right. The only thing I do know is that the more people explore and the more data they consume and transmit back, the more shipping routes and trading routes we'll have.
Correct.
But so we'll need people like Blind Pew from Elite Dangerous. He flies really, really in deep space for hours, just, accumulating data. A lot of people, you wouldn't think, but a lot of people from Elite Dangerous will flock, and it'll be useful for retaining the coordinates data, and the star maps data, because we'll really need that just to get anywhere to do anything, if you think about it.
Well, yeah, exactly. Coffee's saying that he played the original Falcon on a monochrome because color hadn't been invented yet. That's not quite true, but yes. Yes, you and I are probably contemporaries then. But yes, and I agree. There's going to need to be those people who are willing to take those long flights, and especially if you're exploring. The whole point of exploring is you're going around, in system, and
A ship approaching you.
Yeah, I see didgeridoo bidrooey.
We'll call him Didger.
Yeah, didgeridoo bidrooby. Wow, didgeridoo bidrooby.
Why would he do that to himself?
Because he can. I have no doubt that he has no problems pronouncing his own name. But he's green, so I'm not going to shoot at him. We'll wait and see what he does. If he shoots at me, he becomes fair target. But he's just flying around the station, and that's fine. I have no doubt he can see me. But yeah, I also have a Kereah, which is an exploration ship, and I bought it specifically because
I love the Kereah.
Well,
I love that ship.
One of the things I want to do is I would like to have a crew go out and either find an unknown system that I can use for org stuff, or preferably, what their mission is going to be to go out and try and find one of the Bengal carriers that'll be out there.
Right.
Yes, Boomhand, you and I are definitely about the same age because my first computer was a Radio Shack TRS-80, and I remember typing in BASIC a Star Wars game. There's Griff, he's coming in. Zork, absolutely, Zork on the Apple II, and also Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy had a game. There was a game that id Software, who did Zork, did a text adventure based on the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and the box.
It is making another Quake. I'm kind of excited for it.
See, the box for the Hitchhiker's Guide came with a plastic bag which contained a microscopic space fleet. It had a button you could pin on your shirt that was a "Don't Panic" button. It had a piece of pocket lint and a pair of Jubjudanta 2000 super chromatic peril sensitive sunglasses, which were basically construction paper. But it was great. It was they and this is back in the 80s. This is in the early 80s. When people, they were having problems, especially with games, people pirating the games. Well, these guys understood that if you put stuff in the box, it didn't have to be expensive stuff. It just had to be cool stuff. People wouldn't pirate your games because they wanted the stuff.
Yeah, so they'd buy it just for the flair and the game, and it would deter
absolutely.
The pirate action.
Absolutely. I've got my "Don't Panic" button. Where's yours? Yeah, absolutely. Which is one of the things I think that Chris Roberts understands, because he's when I bought when I first backed into this game, part of the deal was you're going to get the music from the game, and you're going to get Star Map, and you're going to get some other cool stuff. Great, fantastic. And that was my first $300.
I think the coolest thing that I own, and I started in flight sims during X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. I have an X-Wing Collector's CD-ROM booklet from Prima Games that's like a little over 100 pages long. So it has like the lore, it has like the details of everything. But I think that's as far back as I go, along with my copy of Star Wars Galaxy's jewel case. But that's about it.
Yeah, and Boomhand, I think you're talking about NetHack. He's talking about a dungeon game that was text-based. And NetHack was one of those. And I didn't get into NetHack until I got onto an IBM and onto a PC. But yes, I remember playing that as well. Apparently, it was one of those back when the internet was the domain of universities and the government. Apparently, they did that using Telnet, and so you would have all these people who would be on the network. Okay, there's Colhan, and that says Mustang Alpha. That's the didgeridoo guy. And there's a gladiator. We got 3 people out here, but and they're all green, which is fine. See what this guy's gonna do.
Do I have permission to post my Twitch channel link by chance in your chat, or is that not okay?
Let me see. Yeah, I don't have any mods. I'll have to get out. Hold on a second. Hopefully nobody. Let's see here. Let's see if it'll work. Let's see here. Whoa. Okay. Talk about caps lock. Let's see. Permit. What was it? Crap. The Donnie B. Was it just D-O-O-D, or was it another way of spelling it?
Let's see. It's hold on. Yeah, it's Donnie B. Good.
G-O-O-D?
It's G-E-W-D.
Okay, I was thinking it might be, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, Golf, Edward, Whiskey, Delta.
All right, well, let's see here if it'll do it. See an orange line creeping across?
Okay, permit. Let's try it.
You've got
a lot of guts.
Yeah, apparently not. Interesting.
Well, at least we
That's
stress
interesting.
tested the bot.
Well, yeah. Apparently, the permit command does not work, and I don't know why. Because I've tried it. It's the same bot, both in the chat for Twitch as well as on Discord. It's Nightbot, so apparently, for whatever reason, the permit command is not. I'm gonna have to go look at it because I don't know why it's not working.
Well, I guess we'll worry about it later. You're kind of in semi-hostile territory.
I don't know if it's hostile or not. That's the fun part.
Well, the pirate did just blow up in front of your eyes while we were doing this. Apparently.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, see, I couldn't see it because I was out of the game. So,
yeah, but I didn't say anything only because there were 2 ships staring at it. Like, what are you doing here? So that guy died really quick.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see here. Let's move to the side. Get some room, some maneuvering room. Let's see what these guys are doing. So we got Colhan and Apex Prime. Well, somebody just let off a missile. We're gonna wait and see what this. Well, I heard it explode.
Apex is on intercept.
Okay, so looks like Colhan just fired a missile the wrong direction. Apex Prime fired a missile the wrong direction.
Yeah, I don't know if they're trolling or if they're in a fight, but this is a weird, strange fight.
It is very strange. There's another one.
Normally you'd see them circling between each other, which, by the way,
Whoa,
that's like one
so
thing.
somebody's, apparently he's gonna fire at me. Okay, fine. He's now, oh, okay. Come on. Alright, so now we can chase him. And it's an Aurora. Yeah, this should be fun. We'll just open up with the main gun. I am hitting him hard. There he goes. Okay, that was easy.
Did you get him?
I got him.
This will be interesting to watch. I don't know why anybody takes on a Vanguard with an Aurora.
They don't know any better?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Alright, so I'm going to slow down and I'm going to spin around.
Man, he just sat there taking it.
Yeah, he did.
God.
Which is why, you know, it's like, okay, if you're going to sit there, I'm going to open up with the main gun because that's going to do a whole lot more damage. I love that main gun. You know, if you can get them to either sit there or run from you and run in a straight line, they're not going to survive. So I'm
yeah, the Apocalypse Gatling is great. I hope it gets buffed just a little bit in damage. You know.
Yeah. Well, you know, yes, I agree. I don't think it should take that many rounds to take out an Aurora. But you know, it seems to me that you know, I the only problem I really have with that gun is that it takes a second for it to wind up. But once it does, well, that and you get a lot of flare from the barrels when they fire.
Yeah, you get some glare on your.
And it's hard. It's usually
window.
Yeah, and it's usually enough to obscure the reticle, so you can't. It's hard to tell if you're hitting them unless they're right. You know, unless you're right close to them.
It's an interesting sense of balance, the way they're utilizing the visual fidelities just to kind of hinder you a little bit for the sake of balance. It's pretty interesting.
Well, and you know, like I said, if you're close enough, it's not going to be a problem. If they're filling your windscreen, you're close enough that glare is not going to be a problem because you're going to know if you're hitting them. Cause, you know, you really can't not hit them.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what they're hoping for is that, you know, I think that's one of the reasons why. See, I don't know whether the dropping the speeds by half helped or not because I got all of this equipment. Ooh, there's a red guy. Bravo M. Okay, let's go after Bravo M. I got the X56 and the rudder pedals. Just as 2.6 came out. Let's take. Oh, there he is. He's gone. All right, I'm gonna back off of this station because I don't want to get boarded again. Yeah, it's tricky with the spin up. It takes a second. If they're sitting still, that's fine. Or if they're running from you. All right, so real quick, I'm gonna get out of my seat and I'm gonna bring up my gun.
I think he was flying a Gladius.
Yes, I did. Or yes, he was flying a Gladius. And that is the easiest Gladius kill I have ever had.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to turn ComStat back on and G-Safe. Alright, so let's take a look around. What do we got? I suppose what I could do is... Okay, there's Colehan. There's a gladiator over there. We get two ships. One's Colehan, one's a gladiator. They're both green, so I'm going to let them be. And if I hear a door behind me, I'm going to get out of my chair. I actually heard the ramp drop when the guy killed me.
Yeah, it's usually better to, when you hear the ramp drop, usually better to just get out of seat immediately.
I just couldn't believe that sitting out here in the middle of nowhere that somebody was actually getting on my ship. I thought it might be something from the station.
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Let's see here, I've got my zoom. That works. I've been playing with my zoom, so it does work. Okay. sort of. One of the things about with this, all the buttons and whistles and bells on this X56 is setting stuff up to where I can get to it easily, where it works for me. I'm starting, it's starting, things are starting to work out pretty well for me, but remembering what does what button does this. All right, I know there's a way I can do this. Oh crap, that's not it.
So long as you're comfortable with your controls in combat, I think that's it's definitely a good foundation to have.
I agree, and that's why all of my combat controls, or at least the ones I use, are very easy to get to. I've got the cycle friendlies like that. I've got that on a hat up on my stick. I've got my cycle enemies on the throttle. It's the metal roller. I guess a lot of people use that for their mouse scroll button, but I use it for cycling through enemies. And then I've got my look around on one of my hats. And I still haven't necessarily found. I've got a third head on my stick. It doesn't do anything at the moment. I may set it up for cycling through defensive stuff, chaff and stuff, or maybe I can do 2 ways. So I could actually it's an 8-way hat. It's really what I should set up for my look around button, but my thumb goes to the other hat. It's so much easier. There's Colhan. That's Gladiator. That's Carved Drogo.
I'm actually surprised with some of these pirates. I mean, the way I normally do it, and you'd think it wouldn't be, but it's very easy to do this. You literally speed straight at a pad and then just come to a dead stop. You don't even have to land on the pad. You jump out of the ship immediately and just automatically assume that your ship will blow up so long as you get in the station. Once you clear your hack, you get on the second floor and wait over an elevated position to see if someone will try to disrupt it.
Yeah.
Once somebody comes out of hiding to stop the terminal, you shoot them.
Yeah.
So now you have a location of your target. So you kill him, start the hack, you clear it, right? Now you're green. Now you have no ship. So either you wait for someone to jump on the pad, or you do what that one guy did and fly God knows for how long in EVA space and say, hey, I'm going to throw a grenade inside a ship that I'm inside of because it seems like a great idea. Well, but it's not.
But most of these ships around here tend to be smaller ships, single person. I think I've got the biggest ship. And so, there's Brown Coat SV. That's Sierra Victor. Interesting. And to answer your question, Coffee, no, I have not played DCS World. So I'm not sure. But, I agree with you that if you absolutely are desperate to clear your crime stat, what I usually do is I like to come in with something like a saber, and there's a pad over there that's completely in shadow. Now, it's not going to stop people from seeing you on radar and being able to target you, but it makes it a lot harder for them to see you. And so usually what happens is I'll go ahead and land, and I use auto land because it's quicker. I'll land on the pad, jump out of my ship, run in real quick. I'll look around as I go, and if it looks clear, I'll go ahead and go to the terminal, and then I will crouch down with my back in the corner of the terminal so I can see the light or the windows across from me. I've already taken out I don't know how many people who come up to those windows looking for me. I'll take them out long before they see me because they're looking for somebody standing. DCS sims are worth trying if you like sim flying. I'll have to take a look. Quite honestly, this is the game I play most often. I've got other games, but this is the one that I really enjoy playing. And like I said, I can sit here. Well, I've been sitting here for about an hour at least, and waiting for people to come through. just because I can. You know, if they're green, I'm not going to bother them. They're here to do whatever. But if they jump in and they're red, I'm going to go after them because I can. And I've got a big ass gun to take them out with.
Greatest thing about sandbox gameplay, if it's done right, you can do whatever you want.
Absolutely. Let's see here. If I moved a little bit to the left. Right, that should put me... That's better. That puts me right between the station and the moon, which is where I want to be. Here's another green one, it looks like. Botanic Geek. And there's, Guzato. He's just checking me out. Kurt's 28. What is he doing? Oh, he's upside down. You know, he shoots at me, I'm gonna have a hell of a time with him. I've already got him targeted, so.
Might want to angle your shield.
Can I do that?
Numpad on the excuse me, the far right hand side of keyboard. 4, 5, 6, and 2.
Okay.
Kurt.
He's
Kurt.
Proximity
He's just being
alert
cute.
Starboard. Proximity alert overhead. Proximity alert.
boy, we got a bunch of people just kind of looking at me.
Like, hey buddy, how's it going?
I'm not going to do anything unless you do something to me. Simple. I'll keep an eye on you.
That's that size 4 laser.
Yeah, is that the warden?
Not really sure what it's called. What I do know is that it tears Vandal ships in half in like 2 to 3 shots.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Where was the guy EVAing? Coffee says he saw a guy EVAing. Well, we can fix that. Yeah, I can move over here. Oh, we got a red guy. Extortius.
He's in Akani. Oh, he's so dead. Watch how fast this Connie blows up.
He's okay. So he's a little farther ahead of me, so I'm gonna have to speed up to get him. That's all right. There we go. Now I got him. Boy, he's moving fast too.
I'm surprised. Max speed I can get a Connie is at 450.
Come on. I hit him hard. Oh, that must have been countermeasures that he threw out, because... Whoa. Somebody hit me. Oh, he's firing missiles. That's what it is. Whoa. I am out of control. Come on. Where is he? There he is.
Shields recharged.
I think he just jumped. I don't see him. I still show him on my screen though. Where is he?
His left engine is damaged.
I don't have an arrow. Why don't I have an arrow? I can't see him.
He might have left the pilot's seat and turned off the ship to reduce electronic signature.
Okay. Well, that's
So he's
where
probably
he was.
still out there. You just have to kind of stare.
All right, that's where he was. I have got damage. I've got an incoming missile, it looks like.
Actually, I think he jumped out.
I think he did too, except I still see him on my scope.
How many meters?
It doesn't say. Oh, 0 meters. Okay, never mind. All right, so I have to jump out and see about getting it fixed because, whoa, I saw that missile coming at me. It's going to be a few minutes before I can get that ship back, which is a shame. I really like that ship.
I have no idea what just happened.
Near as I can tell, a missile took me out because I saw a missile off to my port side. So I'm assuming that it might have been the Connie that moved and took me out, but I don't know for a fact.
Welcome to the Port Olisar ship deck. Please press the screen to continue.
All right, so how long is it going to be? Wow, 11 minutes. All right, well,
Well,
let's...
since you got 11 minutes, do you mind adding me onto RSI so I can hop in there with you?
Yeah. Let me see here. Hit with that. And oh, wrong one. Duh. So hit F and F11 and Alt question mark. All right.
So it should be Donnie be good, and instead of GEWD, it's GOOD.
Oh, okay. That would be why I couldn't get you on. Contact added.
All right, cool. Groovy, man.
All right, let me see what else we got here because 11 minutes is a long time. Let's go ahead and take the F7CM. It's a bit of a tank. That's one of the reasons why I like that hoplite.
Oh, do you have a Super Hornet?
I do. It's a placeholder.
Oh, you need to let me get turret that thing.
Okay, yeah, both of my Hornets are placeholders. So I believe I'm on A7. There's Colehan. He apparently got hit too. Yeah, I'm on strut pad A7. Is that right? That's not A7. It's
Would you mind sending me an invite?
Sure. Hang on a second. Let's see here. I gotta remember how this is. Oh, that's not right. Interesting to see. Yeah. Invite to party. I don't see you online, but I've sent you and you've accepted. Okay.
Okay, so let's go ahead and go to my hangar really quick.
Okay, Coffee wants to be added too, so let me add him. Alright, so C0 FF333. Contact added.
Your instance is full.
That doesn't surprise me. What I've found is that if you F out and then come back and then F it back in, you do it a few times, it tends to work a little bit better.
Yeah.
Hell, by the time
What
you
I
get
do
in,
is, go ahead.
I say by the time you get in, I might have my hoplite back and you can man the turret.
That'd be good. The hoplite turret might actually be bugged in terms of its targeting situation. Though.
I think it is bugged. I got into it at one point, and it, I couldn't see anything. I was looking at the rim.
The Hornet turret kind of works. You just have to be on like the close ass end of the ship of the enemy that you're fighting.
Yeah, well, and one of the beautiful things about these controls I've got is if I can get the thrust right, if I can get the throttle set right, and especially if they start flying in circles, I can pull right up on them within a couple hundred meters, and they're nice and big in the screen, and it makes it much easier to target and shoot them. And if we get a couple of people in here, we might take out a larger ship that has multiple positions, like maybe a Constellation that has 2 turrets.
I love the Connie, but I even have one. But Jesus, that thing is tough to fly. Its engines are so big and are such an easy target. It's really depressing because the Connie's beautiful.
Well, part of what I want to do is to figure out tactics to keep that from happening. You're right. That whole back end is nothing but engine. If they hit you, behind the midpoint, they're going to hit an engine. Of course, I've also got a couple of Starfarers, so their engines are smaller.
I actually had the pleasure of blowing up a Starfarer today. I'm afraid I'm guilty of that, but it wasn't an easy feat. It took all my missile rack, and
what were you
I
flying?
had just the standard Vanguard lasers
Okay.
and the Apocalypse Gat, and I blew it up. I actually thought to myself, maybe those fuel canisters it's holding actually is relevant to something. Of course it isn't, but
Not at this point. No, it will be.
yeah.
Eventually, especially if it's high explosive round that you're firing. Yeah, absolutely. That'll take out the one good shot will take out the ship.
Mm-hmm. But when it blew up, there was blue like smoke, debris, plasma just everywhere. It was a beautiful thing.
Oh yeah,
it was so sad too because I only had like 4 viewers at the time. But if I had 20, everybody would have been like, "Whoa."
This is why I record locally, is so that I can take those moments and I can put them out as highlights on my YouTube channel, so that hopefully more viewers, if they see them, more viewers will actually start watching the stream.
Right.
I've got more viewers right now than I've had in a long time. I've got it looks like 6 viewers, 6 people watching, which is great, fantastic.
Okay, I am here. You said you're at pad 10?
I'm at pad A. Hold on. Over here where I can read it. Pad A, Alpha 6.
Okay.
I will be out here by my Hornet.
So glad I cleared my pirate rank when I did.
Yeah, because I'm not going to Grimhex to pick you up. That's
I wouldn't ask anyone to do that. I did have one person. He brought his dropship, his Vanguard dropship. He picked up 3 pirates just so we could clear it. It was really nice of him.
Yeah, and I think that's
the only reason why he had to come was because the pads, the terminals weren't working at all. Yeah,
that's one of the problems with with 2.6 is sometimes those terminals work, sometimes they don't. At least at Port Olisar, you've got 4 struts. Voice. Okay. That must be you that just landed.
Absolutely, and I took no damage, like a boss.
I mean, I'm watching this like, is that a ship tumbling? And then I saw you hit the ground. I mean, you just hit that ground. And
I almost do a barrel roll.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised you didn't bounce. All right, so let's see, pilot seat and getting in, and this should allow you to get into the gunner seat. Gonna move forward. Gonna work.
All systems online.
And I can't look behind me, so I don't know if when you're in.
Yeah, I'm in.
You're in?
Fine.
Okay. Let's see what we can do.
Takeoff complete.
See, that takes off so nice and smooth. And I wish that hoplite did. I don't know why it doesn't.
So the good news is that I do have a firing reticle pip, which is nice. That'll
Okay.
help.
Yep.
The
I
bad
do-
news is I'm not sure if I'll have targeting, but I'll make it work.
Well, we'll see what happens here. We're gonna jump to.
Yeah, some people prefer it dry, so I'll have dry targeting. That could have been taken in multiple ways.
I'm just not gonna touch that.
Right. And we're here.
Yeah, NTC Transport is not the name I use. It's Greyhart, Greyhart. That's for coffee. Okay, there we go. We're gonna jump to Port Kereah. All right, there we are. And I don't see anything on my scanners. I don't see anything on my scanners. Okay, so we're gonna slow down. There we go. And we're just gonna orbit. The easiest way I know to get where I want to go. And face the direction I want to face. And I set
Wow, what is that mounted on the front there?
on the front of
The Hornet. The
Uh,
weapons.
Oh, I'm not sure. I honestly don't know.
I've never seen this before.
Yes, coffee, that's it.
That's a turret mount on the front with 2 lasers on each side.
It probably is gimbaled, yes. And I'm really liking the fact that I've got 3 triggers on this there we go. On this X56. And so I use the lever trigger as a look behind.
Right.
So I can use my pinky to fire secondary weapons group because I only got 2 groups. The trigger is the primary, pinky is the secondary, and then the lever trigger is my look behind. All the Super Hornet weapons are gimbaled. Okay. All right. So I thought I saw a flash, but I don't see anything coming up on my. That was interesting. Could have swore I saw a jump in, but apparently not. And that Connie, it looks like it must have jumped out because it's not here anymore. And while I'm thinking about it, I need to move my mouse up to meet the. There we go. Otherwise, everything's going to be firing off to the side. All right. So, Boomhand, the person who is sitting behind has got a turret. All right, there's somebody. There's Colehan. He's back. And while I'm thinking about it, need to go into the main chat. There we go. All right. Okay, so Colehan is back, and we'll just let him do what he does. He's not a threat to us. I do want to do this. There we go. And real quick, we'll just do that. So let's see here. I believe that if I do this, it'll give me off to the side. So now you can see Z. I thought Z allowed me to. Apparently not. No, it does do that, but that's not what I wanted. Maybe. See, I'm still trying to figure out these camera angles.
Oh, the first person camera.
Yeah. See, I can move the camera off to the side. Yeah, I see your turret moving. But I thought that it was supposed to orbit, and I'm still not able to get it to orbit properly.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, the camera angles are something I don't mess around with too much. I just mess with the F4 and the Z for first person look.
Well, and the Z works for if you're on foot, and it locks things up if you're in a ship. All of a sudden, I'll be flying. I'll have thrust, but I won't have any other controls. It's like, what the hell? And then I realize, oh, somehow I must hit Z. I'll hit Z again, and all of a sudden I got my controls back.
Commander Rudy's having a tough time. He's lost.
Really?
Yeah, I'm looking at chat right now. He says, "Help, please! I'm by 2 elevators and some computers. How do I get to Q?" Yeah, he's lost.
Wow.
He's new.
Yeah.
Yeah, that must be intimidating.
Yeah, I bet it is. Who has grenades? Okay. Alt Z? Let's I don't think it is, but we'll try. Oh, nope. Alt is going to drop me down.
Who's the expletive deleted that took my saber comment from Kereah?
Gee, I don't know.
Yeah, he local chat.
Yeah. Well, it's the main chat. Yeah.
We got a target upper right, Red Knight X pirate.
Oh, I see him. All right, let's take him out.
I'm gonna wait until we're nice and close.
We're gonna come down and around.
Yeah, I've got Pip.
Oh, he's in a cutlass.
Yeah, you might want to missile boat this guy.
Oh.
Oh,
shit.
no.
I thought we were gonna go above him.
Well, that escalated quickly.
Yes, it did. I thought we were gonna make it above him. I wasn't sure which way he was pointing. I should have gone under him.
I hope it spawns us back.
I hope it does too. I want to go back and shoot that guy.
Are you black screened still?
Yeah. I'm assuming you are too.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna crash. Well, and if it does, that's fine. I've been streaming for about 4 hours now. Yeah, facepalm from Boomhand. Yeah, you just get into it, and all of a sudden it just
I wasn't ready.
I was ready. It's just I didn't see which way he was going. I thought yeah. The one thing about the automated pirates is that when you come up on them like that, they get out of your way. The real people don't necessarily. You
It's
gotta.
very hard to take out a cutlass with Badger repeaters on it.
Well, yeah, and that was one of the things I like. Again, like what I like about the hoplite is it's got guns that'll take out a cutlass. Coffee or just got in. Yeah, well, I think it's crashing on us. I don't think it's gonna let us back in.
Yeah, I'm gonna close mine out. I can already tell.
All right. Well, all right. So I think because I've been playing for 4 hours and it's now coming up on midnight, so I think I'm going to, if I'm going to go ahead and close it out, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a stream.
All right, sir. Well, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining me. It's a lot more fun when you've got people in helping.
Yeah. Really quick to anybody interested in pirate stuff or perhaps learning countermeasures against pirate stuff, watch my channel. I promise you it'll help.
And you're under Johnny Be Good?
Yeah, that's Donnie B and then
Donnie.
GEWD.
Let me hold on. Let me see if I can put that in there. Whoop. What the hell? Okay. All right. So it's going to be twitch.tv/DONNYBGEWD, right?
Mm-hmm.
Really? It won't even let me. Oh, wait a minute. Why am I under Greyheart 42? That's interesting. I shouldn't be under Greyheart 42. Ah. All right. Let me do it this way. Um, let's see what happens if I do it this way. TV/ONNYBGEWD. There we go.
All right. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, because yeah, if nothing else, I will absolutely watch you because yeah, I enjoy, I enjoy going out and having fun with other people, and especially if we've got a group of streamers. One of the things I want to do, and I actually talked to Sophie Girl about it, and she's all for it. I set up some waypoints. I haven't, but they're on my Discord chat actually. I set up some waypoints so we could do races for larger ships like Starfarers. And what I want to do is I'd like to get enough streamers out there so that every waypoint has a streamer who's streaming as the race is going, so that people can see the race as though they were actually at the race.
Oh wow, that's great.
And then I can go out especially if they've got YouTube channels and they place that up there on their YouTube channel. I can go out, pull that video down, and I can then edit it all together so that the race, so I can put the race up in chronological order so that you get cameras as they leave and they jump, because it's it's different waypoints that are going to be like comma rays and cryastro stations and Kereah. So you have to jump, but when you're outside of the rules are that when you're outside of a reporting area, guns are hot and you can shoot it at other competitors.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, that was my thought. Was hey, let's and because when you jump in, you're going to jump into a certain point away from the actual waypoint, and you have to fly around the waypoint. So you have to go around the far side, and then you can jump to the next one. So you've got to be in real space for a while, which means there's time for people to catch up and shoot at you. And then you can, once you have rounded the far side of the waypoint, whether it's Cryostrocom array or ICC probe or whatever, you can then jump out to the next waypoint, which you then have to, go around and circular, and it's a circular track, so it starts and ends at Port Olazar. And if you're in non-reportable space where they're not, the comm arrays are not going to give you a crime stat, you're free to shoot at the other competitors. And I think that would be fantastic, especially with streamers stationed pretty much at the waypoint, so that they could spin around and see the racers and actually report who's in first, who's coming in second, just like a regular race would have. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Well, I'm definitely down for that.
All right, I will put you down as someone who's willing to do that, because I've got I want to say, well, actually I can look. I want to say I've got about 9. Let's see here. one here. Okay, so I've got 8 waypoints plus Port Olisar. So Com Array 275 is you start at Port Olisar, you go to Com Array 275. You round that from there, you go to Cryastro 151. You round that from there, you go to Port Kereah. You round, and it's actually not a full 180 degrees around Kereah, because from there you go to ICC Probe 849. So it's a quick turn, and then you go around that, and you come out and you head for Cryastro 242. From there you go to the Kovalex Shipping Hub. Round that to Com Array 625. Round that to Cryastro 042 and back to Port Olisar. So, and the idea is that you have to cross Port Olisar. That's the line. And when you start out, because everybody's going to start at Port Olisar, you have to get out. You have to run in normal space until you get to the point where your weapons are hot. So you get past the armistice zone. Once you're past the armistice zone, you can jump to Com Array 275.
And then that'll be the end.
Well, I mean that's the start of the race, and from there, once that's just on the first run. When you come back for finish the first lap, once you get past Port Olisar, you can jump to 275 as soon as you've got it clear in the clear. I think it'd be a lot of fun, but I've got to get 9, including I need to get 9 streamers plus myself in order to pull this off the way I want to pull it off, because the streamers are also going to be reporting who cut the turn.
Naturally,
if you cut the turn, you're disqualified.
I'm not worried about not cutting the turn.
Yeah, well, and so I think it's I think it'd be a lot of fun, and it actually
win or lose to me, I think it's a good experiment and a good social thing to do.
Well, yes, and when 3.0 comes out, I want to move it so that it's across the solar system, so it's a larger race, it's a longer race, and it'll be across the solar system, and again get streamers out there to stream the race. And I think, and I know because is it multitwitch.tv?
Hang on one sec. I want to hear what you have to say. I have to go to the restroom really quick.
Okay. All right. So let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and call. I think I'm going to go ahead and call this a stream because we're pretty much done. It's been a fun night. Hopefully we can get this happening again because it was a lot of fun. Wow, I get 9 people watching on Twitch. That's cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night, and I'm not gonna be able to stream tomorrow, so it'll be next week before I can stream again. But hopefully you guys are. Hopefully you've all followed, and you'll know when I'm back on. It's irregular, but I try and do it at least once a week, and it's usually about the same time. It's anywhere from 6 to 8 p.m. Mountain Times when I start, and I'll go until about midnight, which is 5 minutes from now, and we'll do a nice long stream and go out and see who's out there. I fly with Operation Pitchfork. I fly with Scorpion and some of his people, and then I fly by myself. And anybody who wants to join me is more than welcome. I put all the links into the chat so that you can join me if you'd like. So we will talk to you later, and you guys have a good night. And we'll see you around the verse.